So, good afternoon, friends, once again. Now we are in the fourth sessions for today. This is 36th session of this program. And we are having Professor Himanshu Bhusan Rout today with us for this session. He is right now head Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management in Mizoram University. And he is going to talk about tourism destination management with responsible and sustainable practices. So tourism is everybody's subject. We all are tourists. So let's learn from him that what is the way to be a tourist with responsibility and which can be sustainable in long run. So Professor Bhushan Rautji, now you can take up from
Okay.
here.
Sir, thank you, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, very much audible and visible also. Yes.
And my
Yes,
screen is also shared, sir?
yes, yes, yes. That front page
Yes.
is coming with picture.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. So, very good afternoon to all dear participants in this session. I'm going to discuss about tourism destination management with responsible and sustainable practices. So when it comes to the discussion about tourism, so definitely we all are a part to tourism, knowingly or unknowingly. We have availed all commercial facilities available for the tourists. That may be in terms of transportation, that may be in terms of accommodation, food and beverage, other activities related to tourism. Uh, may not be purposively, but sometime for our personal use also, we avail the facilities, commercial facilities available like airway, railway, bus facilities, some taxis. These are not exclusively for the tourists, but also can be consumed by the local residents, those who are coming with other purposes to that particular destination. But though we are availing all those destinations, all those facilities available in that particular destination, we should know about the tourism destination management and what are the functions, what are the responsibilities of those authorities working as at that particular destination, and also being the traveler, what should be our responsible practices, which practices we should adopt to make that trip sustainable, and we can preserve and conserve all social, environmental, and economic sustainability. We can work for it. So this session can be one useful session for you all. In this session, I am going to discuss in three divisions. First of all, we will discuss about tourist destinations. What are those tourist destinations? What are the characteristics of those tourist destinations? How many types of tourist destinations are there? And in secondly, we'll discuss about destination management and sustainability. What are the responsibility of the destination management authorities, the other stakeholders over there, and how to make sustainable to those particular destinations for future. Then thirdly, I will discuss about responsible tourism practices in destination management. Particularly responsible tourism practices came into the picture in the latter because we are not so much of concern in past about the preservation and conservation of our monuments, historical sites, environment, society. But nowadays we are talking about sustainability because now we are aware about the conservation, we are aware about the preservation of the natural resources, and we are thinking about the future use of all those resources. That's why sustainability word came to limelight in this sector little late. So, what is tourist destination? Generally, any person wants to travel one particular destination with one objective. That objective may be his personal, may be social, may be religious, may be due to some attraction. So there must be some attraction. Without any attraction, no one wants to travel to one particular place. And generally in tourism, we talk about 5 A's. The first A stands for attraction. So attraction may be natural attraction. Natural attraction means that may be the roaring beaches, roaring seas, silent valleys, that may be the dense forest, that may be a desert, that may be thrilling waterfalls. So any kind of natural attractions can attract the tourist to or any traveler to visit that particular place. Maybe that place having some historical significance. Maybe one fort of any kingdom, or maybe due to some historical fight, that place is very much important. Due to some natural or built beauty, maybe if you talk about Taj Mahal, that is a built beauty, and offering leisure and amusement activities of that particular destination can attract the tourists. So a place of interest where tourists visit typically for its inherent or an exhibited natural or cultural value. Sometimes we travel one particular destination for its ethnic communities and their unique culture. That also attracts the traveler to visit that particular place. A place or area where a collection of tourism related products and attractions are offered, which deliver a tourism experience for individuals or a groups traveling away from their home or place. Particularly, the traveler who is termed as tourist. And what is the difference between tourist and excursionist? Particularly, those travelers traveling from his own domicile at least 60 kilometers or more than that, and staying in that new destination, a new place, at least more than 24 hours and less than 1 year, and availing the commercial facilities provided over there for the tourist, that traveler is termed as tourist. And in the other hand, if that same traveler is traveling that new place but coming back within 24 hours, then that traveler can be termed as excursionist. So tourist may be one free individual tourist or group of tourists. Particularly the characteristic of tourist destination. What are the characteristics, and what are the expectations from the tourists from that particular destination? First one is accessibility. I was talking about 5 A's. First A stands for attraction. Then the second A stands for accessibility. Particularly, if I will tell there is one very beautiful place at the top of the mountain, but nobody has seen that beauty, nobody has enjoyed that beauty because that is not reachable. We cannot access that particular place. Then in our subject, there is no meaning of that attraction which is not accessible. So it has to provide various means and modes of transport and transport infrastructure in order to link TGR and TDR. TGR means tourist generating region and TDR means tourist destination region. So tourist generating region means the own domicile of that particular traveler, and tourist destination region means the place which to be visited by the traveler. That means there must be multiple modes of transportation availability of that particular destination. That will be one good characteristic of that destination, because the spending capacity of all the travelers are not same, because some travelers want to travel within a certain time by paying high by air. Some travelers wants to travel one longer distance but by paying less. So there are so many income groups, group of travelers are there. So one good tourist destination should have multiple mode of transportation facility. That means it should be well connected by air, it should be well connected by rail, it should be well connected by road, it should be well connected. So any mode of transportation will be opted by the traveler. It should be easier for them. Then diversity of attraction. Now I was talking about attraction. So diversity of attraction. Diversity attraction must provide natural attractions as well as artificial attractions. For example, flora and fauna, museums, these are the attractions. Then center, these are generally man-made attractions. cultural and ethnic attractions and built environment. So,
You need to share again. Power cut. Power.
sir, my screen is shared, or
No, no,
again
no,
I need
no.
to share, sir.
You have to share again. Yes.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah. Audible. You are audible. Video is freezing. Now your video freezed. You are not audible also now. Yeah, yes.
Sir,
Now.
am I audible now?
Yeah, yeah. Audible and visible also. Share your screen.
Okay, okay.
Yes, yes. Fine. Continue.
Okay, sir. So then proximity to other nearby destination is a good characteristic of one tourist destination, because most of the travelers wants to visit the multiple places, multiple destinations. Due to the uniqueness of different places, they want to travel in a single shot to multiple destinations. If we'll talk about the triangle, golden triangle of India, if we'll talk about Delhi, Agra, Jaipur, and there are so many circuits available in India, like Sufi circuit, like Ramayana circuit, like ecotourism circuits. So there are so many circuits. What is the meaning of that circuit? Because the multiple tourist destinations are situated in the nearby proximity, and one traveler can travel all destinations in a single travel. It is one good characteristic of one tourist destination. It must be interlinked by being close to other destinations to complement the wholesome tourism experience. This facilitates communication, joint and enhancement of tourist satisfaction and development of tourism circuits. Now, only I was talking about different tourism circuits available in our country as well as abroad. Also, there are so many tourism circuits are there. So presence of conservation efforts for future sustainability is a good characteristic of tourist destination, because now only I was discussing about sustainability and how to use the particular resources available in that, preserve all those resources. It must have developed product to be consumed by tourists and must satisfy their needs. Particularly when tourists travel one particular destination, they expect the multiple experiences, multiple type of experiences. And if the developed products, tourism products are not available in that particular destination, that uh, may not be one pleasant experience for that tourist, and they may not rethink to revisit that particular destination. So that's why developed product must be available in that particular destination, and it should be one good characteristic of one good destination management policy. Then differentiation. Every destination should be unique. It must be unique in physical characteristics like wildlife, community attraction, and built attraction. They must be distinct in image and different in comparison with other destinations. If there is no uniqueness of that particular destination, then there is no meaning of visiting that particular destination. So every traveler wants to get the unique experience, the new experience with their new travel. So definitely the good tourist destination. Then we can discuss about the types of tourist destinations. Particularly, we can group the destinations into different types. First one is ethnic destinations. What are those destinations included in ethnic group? Places which promote ethnic and lifestyle of an indigenous community, their dances, their religion, their food, their ceremonies, their festivals, their costumes, everything which is generally enjoyed by the tourists by traveling that particular destination. Those destinations are coming under ethnic destinations. Then cultural destinations, places which promote vanishing lifestyle like local settings, remote villages, rural areas with activities like consuming local means, undertaking custom festivals, folklore dances, performances, art and craft demonstration in old style fashion. If I will give you the example in Northeast, then we can talk about the Chapchorput festival in Mizoram. Particularly, the dance pattern of that festival is very, very unique, and nowhere it is available in our country, not even in abroad. And particularly the Hornbill festival in Nagaland, also one very unique festival. And the particularly the demonstration of old style fashion dances, it can attract more and more tourists to those particular destinations, and in other parts also it is available. So these kind of destinations are grouped into cultural destinations. Then we can talk about historical destinations, areas which promote historical elements with attractions like old towns, churches, monuments, archaeological sites, and museums, and sound and light performances done in ancient way. These destinations generally grouped into historical destinations. Then environmental destinations, particularly areas which promote natural and environmental attractions. For example, national parks, mountain climbing, canoeing, camping, skydiving, paragliding. These are generally the activities carried out in those destinations, and particularly environment destinations attract those travelers, those who are fully occupied with their day-to-day life, and they are very, very tiring by staying in one metropolitan city in a crowded place. They are unable to enjoy the nature environment. So those kind of tourists generally visit this kind of environmental destinations. Then destinations. Recreational destinations are those areas generally it provides sports activities like golf courses, tennis, sky slopes, beaches with which promote games and social contacts in relaxed environment. Generally, forms of tourism here are sports and beach tourism, particularly the vacationers. Vacationers are having more time with them, and they can enjoy their tour by involving themselves in recreational activities, particularly the time consuming activities. So those kind of tourist activities. Those destinations are grouped into business destinations. If we'll talk about Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore, Pune, these are the business destinations. Particularly, professionals generally visit that particular destination with some other objective, but partly they involve themselves in recreational and leisure activities. Then we come to destination management. Destination management is a term often used in the travel and tourism industry to describe the comprehensive management of a specific travel destination. It involves various activities and strategies aimed at promoting, developing, and sustaining a tourism destination to maximize its economic, social, and environmental benefits. Destination management systems should focus on economic benefit, social benefit, and environmental benefit. These three key factors must be addressed in general destination management system. So destination management authorities must have some responsibility. They must have some functions like marketing and promotion. Marketing and promotion generally creates one tourist flow. It also sells the tourism product of that particular tourist destination, creating and implementing marketing strategy to attract visitors to the destination. This can involve advertising, social media campaigning, and other promotional activities. In other promotional activities, we may have observed the audio-visual displays available in airports, railway stations, bus terminals, which can also promote the tourist destinations of that particular region, and may not be at the same time the visitors, those who are passing through that terminal or airport, they will travel that particular destination, but in future that can be one good market creation, and those particular travelers also can plan to visit in latter stage. Then infrastructure development, ensuring that the necessary infrastructure and facilities are in place to accommodate tourists, such as hotels, transportation, and advertisement options. Entertainment options. Particularly, accommodating tourists is nowadays one challenge in some destinations, high footfall destinations like Goa, Kerala, even in Rajasthan. So, in those particular destinations, it is the responsibility of the destination management authorities to promote the local people's participation, the major stakeholders' participation. Like if you will talk about Goa, then in peak season, particularly from September, October to late February, March, you will find the major footfall in that particular place is very high, and the number of rooms by the star hotels is not sufficient to accommodate those number of guests or travelers or tourists. So the government has motivated the local people to share the extra space within their house, to rent out all those rooms to those guests, and they can accommodate the tourists in their house itself. The tourists can enjoy the local food within that house, which is prepared by the landlord or the house owner, and they can enjoy the stay within one very homely atmosphere. So these kind of initiatives must be taken by the destination management authorities to give chance to the local people to participate in this business. And transportation, we should not think about only air transport, rail transport, or our road transport or water transport. Also, the local transport must be developed, and the local youth must come up with the taxi operators, or they may go for travel agencies like this. So transportation should be developed, and entertainment options must be, there must be multiple entertainment options to participate in different activities. The guests should show their interest, so that key infrastructure, the developed infrastructure, can be the identity of one particular tourist destination, and it's also the responsibility of the destination management authorities. Then visitor service, providing information and services to tourists, including visitor centers, information kiosks, and guides to help visitors make the most of their trip. Actually, when we reach to one particular destination and we find there is no information regarding the transportation facility, regarding the accommodation facility, regarding the food facility, even there is no information about the washroom availability. So it creates a problem for the visitors. And generally, the visitor service include all these things, information first, because without any information, the visitor will feel blind in that particular destination. Then the next one is sustainability and environmental management. Generally, managing the environmental impact of tourism and promoting sustainable practices to protect the natural and cultural resources of the destination. Not only natural, but also cultural. Natural protect means we need to care about the natural resources like forest, water, lake, sea, river available in that particular destination. And definitely about the air also. Nowadays, air pollution is also another issue for visiting any destination. Nowadays, we are reluctant to visit the metropolitan cities like Delhi, Mumbai due to air pollution. So it's the responsibility of the destination management system to protect all the natural resources and also the cultural resources. It's the responsibility of both the service providers and consumers. It is the responsibility of the travelers also to protect the very unique culture of that particular destination. We should not impact on those culture. We should not be one threat to that culture of that particular destination. So it's the responsibility of the destination management authorities to protect both natural and cultural resources of that particular destination. Then collaboration and stakeholder engagement, building partnerships with various stakeholders such as local businesses, government authorities, and community organizations to work together in developing and promoting the destination. Particularly nowadays, most of the rural destinations are managed by the local communities. Local communities means the SSG groups, self-help groups, or NGOs available over there. But generally, when these particular groups manage the destination, then definitely they are more concerned about the tourist satisfaction. They are more concerned about the tourist security. They are more concerned about the image of that particular destination, so that continuously the tourist will come to that particular destination and they will visit. And when the local people are the party to manage that particular destination, they are more careful about the protection of the tourists, and they are also simultaneously more careful about the protection of their natural resources and cultural resources. Then research and data analysis, another responsibility of the destination management system, gathering data and conducting research to understand visitor preferences, market trends, and the impact of tourism on destination. Definitely, it is nowadays very much essential to make the plans, policies for future. Research and data analysis is must in any destination. Crisis management, particularly preparing for and responding to crises or emergencies that may affect the destination, such as natural disasters or public health issues. Recently, we all have experienced about the public health issue like COVID-19. COVID-19 was one public health issue during 19 to 21, 22, and tourism industry was badly affected due to this public health issue. So destination management authorities must be capable enough to address all these health issues, and particularly the natural disasters like in coastal region, coastal destinations. There are so many possibilities of cyclone, tsunami, severe flood. So these are the possibilities of natural disasters generally in coastal destinations, and particularly mountain or hilly destinations, earthquake, landsliding. These are some possibilities of natural disasters. And cloud bursting is also another natural disaster for the mountain tourist destinations. And particularly, the destination management authority must be ready and well equipped to address all these disasters or crises, and they are capable enough to manage all these emergencies and crises. Then the next function is product development, creating new attractions or experiences to keep the destination appealing to tourists and to diversify the offerings. Particularly if one traveler is traveling one particular place in 1 year, and after 10 years also he's again traveling that particular place and finding the same facility, same thing, nothing new, then there is no point of traveling again and again to that particular destination. So product development is also another responsibility for the destination management authorities. Then quality control, ensuring that the quality of services and experiences meet or exceeds visitor expectations. Particularly visitor satisfaction and meeting the visitors expectation is one responsibility of destination management authority. Without visitor satisfaction, that particular management is fail. So quality control is one bigger responsibility of destination management authority. Then regulation and policy, adhering to and advocating for responsible tourism policies and regulations to ensure the sustainable growth of the destination, and particularly adhering to the policies regarding the conservation, policies regarding the law and order must be undertaken by the destination management authorities. Then we can discuss about sustainable tourism. Previously, I was telling about the sustainability of any tourist destination depends on how we are using the resources available over there and how we are behaving to those natural resources or man-made or historical resources present over there, and how we are concerned about the preservation of all those resources for future use. So sustainable tourism is defined by the UN Environment Program and UN World Tourism Organization as tourism that takes full account of its current and future economic, social, and environmental impacts, addressing the needs of visitors, the industry, the environment, and host communities. So simultaneously, the need of the visitors, need of the industry, and the host communities will be addressed, as well as we can preserve all those resources for the future use. Then sustainable tourism should make optimal use of environmental resources that constitute a key element in tourism development, maintaining essential ecological processes and helping to conserve natural heritage and biodiversity. Initially also I was telling environmental, social, and economic. These three things must be addressed in sustainable approach of the tourism. Then respect the socio-cultural authenticity of host communities, conserve their built and living cultural heritage and traditional values, and contribute to intercultural understanding and tolerance. Nowadays, in some tourist destinations, you must have heard about the fight among the host community with the tourists or outsiders or travelers, and due to the intolerance, because either party may have threatened to the others' culture, others' language, others' traditions. So it should not be there. Respect to each other's culture, each other's social life, their festivals, their fooding habits. So everything must be respected by each other so that there will be some tolerance and there will be good understanding among the service providers as well as the service availor or consumers. Ensure viable long-term economic operations providing socio-economic benefits to all stakeholders that are fairly distributed, including stable employment and income earning opportunities and social services to host communities and contributing to poverty alleviation. Obviously, in case of addressing the economic aspect of sustainable economic aspect, then we can think about the income of the local people. If the local participation in tourism activities will be more and more, then the income will grow and they can earn sufficient. And when they will realize the earnings are from the tourism activities and the earnings when the travelers coming far away from that place and they are staying over there, and due to their stay, due to their visit to that particular destination, they are earning, then definitely they will be more conscious about the protection, about the safety, security, about the satisfaction of those travelers. And obviously the revenue generated from that particular destination must be utilized for infrastructural development, for the utilization in that particular destination, so that the local resident, local people will understand the impact of tourism development in their particular locality. Then responsible hosts. Responsible practices by hosts in a tourism destination are essential for promoting sustainable and ethical tourism. Hosts play a crucial role in shaping the visitor experience and can have a significant impact on the environment, local communities, and the overall success of a destination. So what are those responsibilities? Now only I was talking about the community engagement, engage with the local community to understand their needs and concerns. Particularly the management authority, the destination management authority must involve themselves to know, to understand the need and concern of the local community. Collaborate with local businesses, employ local people, and support local initiatives. Ensure that the economic benefits of tourism are distributed fairly among community members. So this is the important factor to make that destination sustainable. Then environmental stewardship, implement eco-friendly practices such as reducing energy and water consumption, then waste reduction and using sustainable building materials, educate guests on responsible resource use and encourage them to minimize their environmental footprint. The best example is if you will visit some zoo. For example, if I will give you one very good practice adopted by the Nandankanan Zoo situated at Bhubaneswar, Odisha, then I found at the entry gate, they are having one practice ki, you can carry the plastic water bottles with you inside the zoo, but you have to pay 50 rupees per bottle in that counter, and you can carry that bottle inside the zoo with you and you can consume the water. But when you will return back, when you will check out from that particular zoo, at the same counter you have to deposit that bottle and you have to collect the 50 rupees per bottle from the counter. So that is one good practice, so that the person, the visitor or the tourist who has visited that particular zoo, he will not be responsible of throwing that particular empty bottle here and there. So obviously he will come back with the same bottle because he has already paid 50 rupees for that bottle. It is one very good appreciating step by the Nandankanan Zoo authority. So these kind of practices must be adopted, to responsible practices must be adopted, and there should be one steward for the environmental protection. Then cultural sensitivity, respect the local culture, traditions and customs, educate your guests about the local culture and encourage them to do the same, avoid cultural appropriation and offensive behaviors, so which creates one awkward situation among the host community. So it must be mandated by the destination management authorities. Then support local products. Promote and use local products and services. This can include serving locally sourced food and beverages and offering local crafts and products for sale. Particularly the hoteliers operating in that particular destination, they must procure the local produces. They must offer the local dishes to the guests. The unique ingredients available in that particular destination must be used in in those foods to give very unique taste to the guests, as well as when we are traveling to any particular destination, we should be responsible enough to procure or to purchase the local products from the local street vendors, not from very big mall or showroom. Instead of purchasing all those same materials, same things which has been pre-procured by the businessmen from the local producers, we should purchase directly from the local producers. Then waste management is also another responsibility which must be addressed properly by the destination management authorities. Implement effective waste management system, including recycling and proper disposal, minimize single-use plastics and encourage guests to reduce waste. Then sustainable transportation. Generally, if you visit nowadays, it is adopted by Taj Mahal and some other historical monument sites. And then you will find they have the authority has arranged one particular place as the parking place for the bigger vehicles. those who are reaching to that particular destination. And from that particular parking, some electric vehicles are there to transport all those tourists from main parking to the entry gate of the monument. So that is one good practice or good approach by the authority to minimize the particular the traffic jam, to avoid the traffic jam, as well as the particularly the crowded atmosphere in the entry gate. So to avoid all these things, so many things can be addressed by the authorities. Encourage the use of public transport instead of availing individual taxis, cycling, walking to reduce the environmental impact of travel, provide information on eco-friendly transportation options. So these steps must be taken by the destination management authorities. Then education, provide information to guests about the destination's environment, culture, and history, raise awareness about conservation efforts and local issues. Signage boards must be there, then garbage bins must be there, and ban on the use of plastic should be there. So these are some steps must be taken by the authority. Then conservation efforts support or engage in local conservation initiatives. This could involve protecting wildlife, natural habitats, or historical landmarks. Generally, if we'll talk about the coastal destinations, sometime due to Ridley olive turtles are coming to the beaches. Sometimes the authority give the warning to the travelers or other stakeholders to enter to that particular region, particular place, not to avoid, not to disturb the process of that wildlife, not to disturb that particular wildlife. And sometimes authorities also create the reserves, natural reserves, where generally the wildlife will not be disturbed by the tourists, and tourists are not allowed to enter into that particular area of that forest. So these are some conservation efforts generally taken by the authorities of destination management, and it should be there. Otherwise, we cannot preserve all those things for the future use, and it cannot be one sustainable approach. Then fair employment practices. Ensure fair wages and working conditions for your staff. Encourage staff training and career development, and particularly engagement of the local people in all those establishments operating businesses in that particular region is also another fair employment practice. Then visitor interaction. Encourage responsible behavior among your guests, such as respecting wildlife, following local rules, and minimizing noise pollution. It is one good practice of the Goa authority that after 9 p.m. in night, no one can go for one higher noise or a higher sound. So it is one good approach, good step taken by the authority of Goa. Water and energy conservation. Implement energy efficient technologies and water saving measures in your establishment. Encourage guests to use resources responsibly, particularly if you will talk about the drinking water facility available in airports. Then you must have observed that that is one water saving measure. If you will show your glass, then the water will come. When you will remove the glass, then water will stop, the flow will stop. So that is one example of water saving measures. Sometimes we also experience the use of different taps in different basins. So if you'll show your hand, then only the tap will release the water. When you will remove your hand, then the taps will stop flowing the water. So these are some initiatives or technologies adopted by different authorities to preserve the natural resources. Then local sourcing. Purchase goods and services locally to support the community and reduce the carbon footprint of transportation. Particularly, purchase of goods for the use in hotels, restaurants. Generally, it should be done from the local people, local farms, so that the price of the ingredients will be decreased, and obviously the price of the final product will be decreased, and which can give one other kind of satisfaction to the travelers. Then transparent pricing, provide clear and honest pricing for services and products, avoiding hidden fees or unethical practices, particularly in different tourist destinations. Not all, but some of unethical practices by the taxi drivers, auto drivers generally irritate the travelers, and particularly if that will be that particular monument is situated nearby to the airport or nearby to the railway station, but still the auto drivers, they take some longer route, and they want to grab some more money from the travelers. That is one example of unethical practices. And sometimes the local vendors also adopt the unethical practices, like they sell the same product to the local people with a very cheaper price, and when just they find someone is from outside, he is a traveler, he is a stranger, he is from outside, then they charge just double or thrice of that particular product. So these are some examples of unethical practices which should be avoided. Then feedback and improvement, particularly the authorities should collect the feedback from the tourists, from the local community, and particularly they should plan accordingly for the improvement of that particular destination. And and we should be open to make changes based on feedback, and the authorities should take steps how to make changes in that particular destination on the basis of the feedback collected from the tourists. And particularly, if I will give you one example, as per the feedback of the tourists in one religious site, particularly Puri in Odisha, the tourists were facing lot of problem by standing in a queue under the direct sunlight. And after getting feedback from the tourists, then the authority has arranged the shade facility over there, just to give safety from direct sunlight, rain, to all those visitors. So crisis management, now only I was discussing about crisis management is one responsibility, and it is not only the responsibility of the destination authority. Crisis management, the tourists also responsible, and they should be responsible. Is they should not plan to visit those particular places where they're supposed to be some political imbalance is there, some natural disasters are coming up, or it already warned by the government, already warned by the meteorological department of government. And particularly the management should have a plan in place for handling crisis or emergencies such as natural disasters, to ensure the safety and well-being of your guests and staff. Particularly, very recently, there was one possible cyclone to hit Puri sea beach, and during that time, government of Odisha has vacated around 1 lakh tourists from that particular destination in advance to save the life of the tourists. So these can be the safety measures by the destination management authorities in one particular destination. Then responsible travel. I was discussing about the responsibility of the authorities in destination, but now we will discuss about the responsibility of the travelers. Being the traveler, we should have some responsibility how to make the destination sustainable, how to protect the environment over there, how to protect the social life available there, how to protect the economy of those particular host communities available over there. Then responsible, that is known as responsible travel. Responsible travel refers to the behavior of individual travelers aspiring to make choices according to sustainable tourism practices. The behaviors usually align with minimizing the negative impacts and maximizing positive ones when one visits a tourism destination. What are those steps? Number one, staying in eco-friendly accommodation. Whenever we are visiting one environmentally rich destination, we should not opt for one multi-storied building type hotel we should opt for one eco-friendly accommodation. Staying in eco-friendly accommodation reduces the impact of tourism on the environment. From renewable energy production to bioarchitecture or eco-friendly lodgings, focus on preserving the environment and have positive environmental effects. Staying in eco-friendly tourism accommodations also supports the local economy, because generally the homestays the homestays are managed by the local people, and those accommodation units are made out of the eco-friendly materials, just like the dry bamboos, straw, or the wild grasses. So uh, if the traveler will opt to stay in those kind of accommodations, then definitely the direct benefit will go to the local community. It will not go to the industrialist, those who have opened their resorts over there. So staying in eco-friendly accommodation will be one important responsibility of any responsible traveler to that particular destination. Excuse me. And making optimal use of environmental resources. And improves road congestion. By using public transport, the number of cars on the roads decreases and less carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere. Likewise, fewer vehicles reduce traffic jams on the roads. Particularly, we promote the rail travel during any domestic tourism activity. Rail travel generally promotes it can accommodate more number of travelers in one train, and obviously it can decrease the number of car or other automobiles on the road, and ultimately it will improve, it will foster the good traffic system in the road. And obviously, though nowadays our Indian rail is completely relying on electricity, so carbon emission is minimized now. So we always promote the public transportation instead, in spite of the personal car or individual vehicles. Then respecting the culture of local communities. Respecting the culture of local communities conserves cultural and artistic heritage. The interaction with locals is one of the most rewarding things of sustainable travel, and preserves traditions passed down from generation to generation. Obviously, whenever we are traveling to one particular destination, we should interact with the local people. Then only we will come to know about their tradition, about their custom, about their social life, about their culture, about their food habits. So, without knowing the local, our tour is not complete. And obviously, the information we will gather from the interaction with the local people, that will be the permanent asset for us by visiting that particular destination. Then buying from and supporting local businesses. Buying from and supporting local businesses empowers the local economy, but this is not all. Local products do not involve transportation, require less packaging, and create more jobs. Now, only in previous slide also I was explaining what is the benefit of procuring local produces. If we will buy from the local people, then definitely the profit, the revenue will be directly transmitting to the local people. But if we are buying from mall or any other bigger shops, then definitely the major chunk of the profit is absorbed by the middleman. So that's why buying from and supporting local business should be one good approach, major approach of any responsible travel. Traveling slow minimizes the impact on the environment. That may be by using bullock cart or cycling or walking. For instance, choosing the train over other means of transportation both reduces the ecological impact and is a cheaper option. But this is not all. Traveling slow also allows you to enjoy the scenery along the way. When you are traveling by car with a very high speed car, then you are not able to enjoy the sceneries along the way. So these are some responsible practices, and saying no to single use plastic. Nothing to say more on this, because everywhere we are prompted, we are warned and instructed by the authorities to say no to the single use plastic. Now only I was giving the example about the single use plastic bottle in one zoo. Then local food eating local food ensures freshness and benefits local businesses. In fact, locally produces food doesn't require transportation, so it is fresh and nutritious. Furthermore, eating local products supports the local economy and contributes to increasing employment and income within a community. So this is all about the responsible practices of one responsible traveler. So thank you.
So, Rautji, there is no question in the chat box. So, friends, if you are having any question for Professor Rout, you may post it now. There is no question so far.
Actually, this particular session, the timing is not for questions, sir.
That's true. So, if not there, then if from your side, if you want to say some more thing, then okay. Otherwise, we will conclude this session. Okay. So, should we continue? Conclude it then? Dear friends, any question? Okay, no question, then we'll conclude this session. So thank you, Professor Raut, for your presentation and sparing time for us. And we'll conclude this session here itself. Thank you for joining us. So friends, this is the last session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
This session was little disturbed with power cuts. Previous session was also disturbed because of power cut. This time also, Professor Raut is not having power, and meanwhile, now power cut is there at my end also. So it may get disconnected anytime. So tomorrow morning, assemble at 10, and we'll be having two sessions in morning, and then we'll be having presentation with effect from starting at 1 p.m. And there is a small change in tomorrow's schedule. It was scheduled with Hitesh Solanki, but now Professor Nag Shankar is going to take that session because of some arrangement. And second session will be taken by Professor Jyotish Prakash Basu. He is a former VC of West Bengal State University. So we'll having these two sessions, and then we'll be having presentation. Try to submit your PPT by today evening so that I can send it to the evaluator. Thank you, and see you all at 10 morning. Thank you. Good night.